Okay. Okay. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا. We seek refuge from the evil of ourselves وسيئات أعمالنا, and the evils of what we have done. من يهده الله فلا مضل له. Whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, then he will not go astray. ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. Whoever decides to go astray, then no one can bring him back except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Today is what? The 24th of October, 20th of Rajab, or probably 23rd of October, your side, because we are ahead of you in a few hours. Today we're going to be continuing to be talking about the signs of end of time that have happened and may still be happening till the end of time, even after the major signs come. So we're talking about the minor signs over here that have occurred already and that might keep on occurring till we come to the end of time. So after the Dajjal, will we find these things? Yes, we will find these things. After all these, can we find these things even after that? Yes. Will they might they change in their way? Yes, they might. But yet again, these are small signs that keep on continuing. Right. From the signs of end of time right now is the abundance of wealth, which is the money will be so much that we will not have people that will be in need for money. But let's see what the hadith over here says. In this, one of the things of the signs of the end of time is abundance of wealth, such as if a man giving 100 dinars of gold, he will think that it is little, and a wealthy man will look for a poor man to accept his charity, and he will not find people that will accept his charity. Okay, now you might be saying right now there's lots of poor people, but these signs of end of time, when we say that they're happening, does not mean it has to spread worldwide. It could happen in a certain section of place, like in the Muslim world, or certain section of place, or it could happen for a period of time that it happened and it went and gone, and it's gone. Like for example, for Umar Abdul Aziz, let's go down a little bit here. Okay, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz here. Look over here. It seems that this has happened more than once. It happened to in the time of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. Yaqub ibn Sufyan reported in his Tarikh that Umar ibn Usaid ibn Abdul Rahman ibn Zayd ibn Khattab said, "No, no, by Allah, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz did not die before a man would come to us with a great deal of money and say, 'Give this to the poor as as you see fit.' But he would soon go back with his money, trying to find out where he could give it, but he could not find anyone, so he would have to take it back. So there was something called the treasure box of the Muslimin, and he would, when it becomes, yani, when they have already given all this money to the 8 sectors of zakah, there are eight groups of zakah that the people are supposed to be taking. The fuqara, masakin, amilin alayhim, mu'allafa qulubuhum, all of those, the poor, the people that don't have food on their table for the same day, the people that are poor, the people that are working on it, mu'allafa qulubuhum, those that we want to make their heart tender towards Islam and gentle towards Islam. All of those 8 sects of zakah people, when they have finished giving out the money from the charity, from the not the charity, the treasure box of the Muslimin, when it is full and everyone has took, now it is time for them to use this treasure of the Muslimin, the money of the Muslimin, and to see if there are other more people in need that have not been from the 8 sects of zakah that were written. For example, Amr Abdul Aziz went out to the Muslimin. He told them, "Are there any young men that did not get married that we should yani we're ready to marry them because we have extra money and we want to yani put this money for the Muslimin for the sake of the Muslimin. So they finished that part. Are there any people that don't have housing? They're homeless, they don't have houses to be in. They fixed that part. And they started in 2 years. Umar Abdul Aziz was only Khalifa for 2 years. But in those 2 years, okay, let's see over here. In those 2 years, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was capable of putting the Muslimin just by putting the right people in the right position and by being justful and adil and removing all the dhulm and the transgression and everything. He was able to put the Muslimin in the position of everyone not having, removing poverty from the whole society. But let's see. Umar Abdul Aziz made the people free of need. Okay, who will that happen to as well in his period of time? Also, al-Mahdi will happen. The same thing, al-Mahdi. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in the hadith, if there was only a little bit of time for the Qiyamah to happen, the day of resurrection, the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah to happen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send a man that will fill the dunya. Oh yeah, with justice and fairness, like it has been filled with injustice and transgression and unjust, yani dhulm. Okay, so about Mahdi, we will talk that. We'll have a special chapter for that. But have we seen parts of the time where Muslimin, where people would go out and seek for poor people to give them their money, and they will not find people that are qualified to take any money or are not in need to take the zakah or to take charity? Yes, that has happened in the Umar ibn Abdul Aziz time. They call him the fifth Khalifa. We know there are four of them, but they call him the fifth Khalifa, Rashid, because he was very justful, and he was, his akhlaq was very, very known. Okay, let's read this hadith over here. There's Auf ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, said during the campaign, which means ghazwa, which means like a battlefield of Khaybar. Okay, who knows what a battle of Khaybar happened? Can someone tell us what happened at the battle of Khaybar? Or a little bit. Who's Khaybar? I'm sure everyone knows who's Khaybar. Since you're watching the news and you know what's going on, you should know Khaybar. Who's Khaybar?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How are you doing, Latifa?
Alhamdulillah, bikhair. Khaybar was the place where the Jewish were there.
Yeah, Jewish tribe. They were called Khaybar, and they had a very big castle surrounded, and they had a very big door. That very big door, they were not able to go past it, except somebody was able to carry the door of Khaybar. Can you tell us who was the one that opened the door of Khaybar and carried Hisn, the door of Khaybar, and removed it? Until now, that door of Khaybar is still there, and no one can even move it from its place. After all these, you're talking about 1,000-year-old, 1,300-year-old door that has not been removed and not been changed since they were defeated in Khaybar, since the Yahud were defeated in Khaybar, and no one can even move it from its position after all these years. Who can tell us what happened? So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made a siege around the castle of Khaybar, and because of their ghadr, because of their, they made an agreement with Khaybar, and they made ghadr, and he made a siege around Khaybar, and for 2 months, and then at the end, they surrendered, and the one that opened the door was, can we see who wants to share? Anisa, you wanna try? Who do you think opened the door? He was Sayyid Shabab Ahl Jannah.
I think Ali radiallahu anhu.
Ali radiallahu anh, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anh. He opened the door, and this is when they won Khaybar. This is why till now they say the word Khaybar, Khaybar ya Yahud, Jaysh Muhammad Sawfa Ya'ud. They still have this shi'ar, this saying that is very much known in Palestine and everywhere else, referring to Khaybar. And as we can see right now, unfortunately, the government in Bilad al-Haramain, the land of the Haramain, till now they kept Khaybar يعني in the same position, and they even brought people from the Yahud to come and visit Khaybar and to plant trees back into Khaybar and other places uh, in order to go back to Al-Madinah and to Mecca and everything like that. So this is unfortunate يعني. لكن we know that عمار بيت المقدس, that when Bayt al-Maqdis goes back to the Muslimin, there's going to be the falling of Yathrib, which is Medina, and we know that something is going to be يعني happening next to Al-Madinah after that. And as we can see all the beginning of that happening right now. Yahud going there, even inviting people that are that finished the war in Gaza, that already يعني participated in the battle, in the killing of the people in Gaza. They're invited into the hotels of Saudi Arabia and Emirat, and being يعني they make them parties and special hotels for free and everything like that. So this is all something that we should not feel like down for it. We shouldn't feel like oh, the Muslimin who have been stabbed by the back by we know this is going to, by our own Muslim fellow Muslims and everything. We know this is what's going to happen, because even remember when I said the ahadith, the previous ahadith, when I said the signs of end of time, I said a hadith that said when the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we said, Allahumma barik Yemenina, Allahumma barik Shamina. He said, may Allah bless our Yemen 3 times, and may Allah bless our Sham. Sham referring to the 4 countries, which is, okay, let's see, who could say? Each one of them say one. Yalla, who's the 4 countries of Sham, according to the hadith? Yalla Latifa.
Syria.
Syria. Yalla Anisa, could you give us another one?
I want to say Palestine.
Palestine. What else? Yeah, we got another 2. Latifa. I need Aysha. You remember another?
Lebanon.
Lebanon. And we still got one more. It's the
Jordan.
place. Jordan. It's the place where Ma'rakat Mu'ta, the campaign of Mu'ta, or the battle of Mu'ta happened. Okay. All those, when they, okay, going back to our hadith, when the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, may Allah bless Sham and Yemen, an Arabian man يعني from the Arab said, Ya Rasulullah wa Najdina, and our Najd. And some of the ulama said the word Najd means the higher place of the land. And we said, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Huna, referring to the place in the east, تخرج الزلازل والفتن. He said this is the place where the zalazil and fitan come. So it's not only besieged in that area, but from that area and go to the east is where the fitan, the tribulations, will come. And he referred to the word zalazil. In the Arabic language, zalazil means earthquake. Doesn't only mean the literal word of zalazil, which is the sliding of the rocks under, the tectonians and everything, whatever. No, it doesn't refer to that. Zalazil in the Arabic language as well also means the status of instability, or something being unstable situation of the Muslimin. He said, and he even referred it, he connected it with the word fitan. He said zalazil wal fitan. So he's connecting the zalazil, which means the earthquakes, to the fitan. So earthquake is referring to something being unstable, which is the fitan, which will be causing lots of chaos in that area. And he said also, Amar Bayt al-Maqdis, which is يعني how do I say it? the development and يعني the nourishment of Bayt al-Maqdis and going back and being lived and يعني going back to its position is when the falling of Medina comes. So what did I, okay, so we were talking about Khaybar and then we talked about that. So we shouldn't be surprised since we know all of this about the signs of end of time. We should be expecting what is yet to come. So when we see that Medina and Bilad al-Haramain and all of that, and when he said, Minha yakhruju qarnu shaitan, this is where the horn of the shaitan comes, about the place of Najd. Also, that place after Medina is called literally the word of Najd. It's called Bilad Najd, you know? So Najd in the Arabic language can be called the rising land, but also that land is also called Najd, you know? So it is also called that in the yani specific name as well. So should we feel stabbed in the back, for example, let's say it this way, when we see what is happening in Medina and Mecca? Now we're supposed to say Amr ma'ruf wa nahy an munkar. We should deny, you know, all these yani trespassing and crossing the limits and haram that is being done in the Medina. We should deny that in our heart and deny that in our tongues and say this is haram, this is wrong, this is that. We should do that, okay? But as Muslimin, should we be surprised of what is happening and then feel down and yet depressed and where is the victory going to come and everything? No, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us this was going to happen. He told us that the land of the wahi, the land of the revelation, which is Mecca and Medina, this is what's going to happen to them. So we shouldn't be surprised. This is why when Sayyidina Isa comes at the end of time, and first before Sayyidina Isa comes the Dajjal. When the Dajjal comes, and then he spreads in the land a few tens of days, he's going to sit there for only 40 days, and then Dajjal, Isa alayhi salam, will kill him. So when Sayyidina Isa will come, they will be praying Salat al-Fajr. And then the Imam that is in this Imam of the Salah will step back for Sayyidina Isa to come and become the Imam of the Salah. And then he said, Laka uqimat. He will tell him, it has been, the Imam of the Salah was held for you, to continue your Imam of the Salah. كيف فيكم وإمامكم منكم. Okay, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Isa will come and your Imam in the Salah will be one of you. Isa alayhi salam will come back at the end of time and your Imam of the Salah will be one of you. What is that meaning? The amount of fitan that is going to be coming, death of children, wars, losing all their wealth, their homes, everything. All they have is this faith and this iman. Just imagine what's happening to Gaza, happening all around Bilad al-Sham. It's starting in Gaza. Now it's in Lebanon. You know, imagine that spreading all around Palestine, all around Bilad al-Sham, as well as Jordan and Syria. Losing everything on the spot. No houses, no family, no nothing. And you stay firm on your deen. While the doors of immigration are there, you just leave and you can find another place in the other place in the world, you know, and live there. Just leave this place for the Yahud to have a, you know, in the West to have a very strong base in the Middle East in order to eat the whole Middle East and all the interests and all the greed, to take all the greed of the Middle East and to build the new, yani to pave the way for the Dajjal that is coming and to make this big satanic state that they're yani paving the way. You'll find these people firm in their iman. And it's not just the Palestinians and the people in this country. There will be hijrah of Muslimin from all over the world that will come, you know, and be with their brothers and sisters, because خلاص it becomes يعني it becomes to be the land that if the Muslimin all over the world do not protect the last voice of haqq on this earth, then Islam will be wiped out. So this is the message, and these people stand firmly. So this is why Rasulullah said, كيف فيكم وقد نزل فيكم عيسى ابن مريم وإمامكم منكم. Referring the honor of those people that have lost everything, absolutely everything, yet they stand firm and say, over my dead body, we're not leaving here. This is the last place of haqq. This is the last place of free speech that we say this is dhulm. No for taking our sacred places, for taking al-Masjid al-Aqsa, no, saying no for all of that dhulm in this whole world. كيف فيكم وقد نزل فيكم عيسى ابن مريم. How are you guys how are you guys feeling is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings down Isa ibn Maryam, and the imam that is leading the Muslimin in their salah is one of you guys. So the iman, the faith of those at that time. In another hadith, it was described that fitan will be coming on the hearts of the mu'mineen to the point that some of them, so the fitan will come and people will split into three, people that make ridda and there's no tawbah for them. They leave Islam and there's no tawbah for them. People that will die as shaheed, and people that stay firm on their faith, and those people that will stay firm on their faith, لا تضرهم فتنة, no tribulation will affect their hearts. They have such firm iman. They have seen all the signs of end of time come. They have seen all the miracles, scientific miracles of Islam. They have seen in their eyes all the secularism and what it affected the people and how it destroyed the families in the world, and how the satanism, the satanic rituals and all those things. And they've seen everything. They've learned. They've learned everything. They've been learning and reading about, and watching everything they can learn about Islam, the truth of Islam, and how all the scriptures were changed except the Quran. They've passed all that. Now they are walking and they see Jannah in front of their eyes, and they see the hellfire in front of their eyes. And when they close their eyes, as if they see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in front of them. Those are the people that have the iman of yaqeen. They have the yaqeen in their hearts. When anything comes, Sayyidina Isa come. Yeah, we knew he was coming. When this happened, after Sayyidina Isa, they know they are ready, because after Sayyidina Isa comes, then the Ya'juj and Ma'juj come. They're ready for all that. You think the starvation of Gaza people is for nothing? There's no plan for that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is getting them ready for what is yet to come. And you see all the people in Gaza, each one of them is just carrying a tasbih, a masbah in their hand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sayyidina Isa, when he runs away with his people, with the mu'mineen to the Jabal of Tur, what's their food going to be? There's no food with them. At-tasbih, wa-tahmeed, wa-tahleel, wa-takbir. Dhikr is their food. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is getting all the people. You just keep on watching and see all of what you see is getting us ready for what is yet to come. Let's continue. Who wants to read? Count 6 things just before the hour. Yani the end of time. Yalla Anisa, go ahead. Can you see?
Six. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Count 6 things just before the hour, and he listed them, one of which was wealth will be abundant, such that a man will be given 100 dinars and will remain discontent.
Okay, how can we see now? First of all, we can see that by raising our children, we can see that as much as you give them, that there's too much money, too much blessings around them, that they underestimate the blessings that they're getting. A long time ago, people used to work all day, and all they would get was a little bit of food to maintain a small house. They can, have a roof on their tops, on their heads, and place to sleep, and a little bit of food, and they would feel content, and they would say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And that was worldwide. People used to work a lot and barely get anything, just to stay alive. But right now, because everything is available, people don't even appreciate the food on their table. They're like, they want to go eat out, and it's not haram to eat out, but this is a manner telling us, this is a sign of end of time. Now, we as Muslimin, are we allowed to go eat out? Yes, of course we're allowed to eat out. And if we go and eat out, does that mean that we're just not, we're underestimating or not appreciating the food? Doesn't have to do anything with it, but it's telling us a sign of end of time. That when you see people that just not appreciate food and not appreciate the money that they have, and for example, they're sitting in a car and they don't appreciate this car and they want another kind of a car, and they get another one, even though it is also a manner, a habit of the human being. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the hadith that how do I say the hadith? Let me say, describing the attitude of the human being, that a human being is never content with what he's getting. If you give him a mountain of gold, he will need another. If you give him another mountain of gold, he will say, I will want another. So وَلَا يَمْلَأُ ابْنُ آدَمَ بَطْنُ ابْنِ آدَمَ إِلَّا التُّرَابِ, and nothing fulfills his stomach and his greed except turab, which means death. Which means al-Bani Adam, the human being, as much as you give him, he will still need more, and still look up to people that have more and say, oh, I wish I had that. If she had a house, she would say, I wish I had that kind of a house. So this is why in Muslimi, Rasul taught us that when we look at the blessings of the dunya, forget that you're supposed to, I'm not talking about, we're not supposed to make ourselves become, improve our situation and everything like that. We are supposed to improve our situation and work on that. That's, of course, that's unquestionable. But what I'm saying is, when we do our best and when we work what we can and do our best, and also balance between the dunya and the akhirah, not work too much to the point that we don't have time to pray, and we don't have time to, give the needs of our family members and everything like that. But when we do our best and balancing between all the other rights of the other people, of our members of the family and everything like that, we should not look at the blessings of the dunya to the people that have more blessings than we do. The sunnah is to look at people that are lesser than us in the blessings of the dunya. That is in the size of the dunya. While if we are comparing ourselves between our iman and amal salih, the salihat, the good actions, if we're comparing ourselves with learning, anything, the things that we can do in improving ourselves towards our deen and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should compare ourselves with other people that are higher than us. So dunya, look down on people that look at people that are under you in the dunya and less fortunate than you. But in the akhirah wise, you look at people, oh, she makes more dhikr than I do. MashaAllah, of course, MashaAllah. And oh, MashaAllah, she reads more than I do. MashaAllah, she goes to classes of dhikr and da'wah and, learns more Islam. I wish I can be like that too. I should, yeah, get a little bit more energetic about these things and do that. This is how we are supposed to deal with these situations. But in Muslim, is narrated by Abu Huraira, the hour will not begin until wealth increases among you and becomes abundant, such that a wealthy man will be concerned about whether anyone will accept charity from him. A man will be invited to take this money, and he will say, I do not need it. And we said that happened in the time of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. Okay, over here it says the meaning of the phrase a wealthy man will be concerned is that he will be upset because he will not find any needy person to whom he can give money. The phrase I do not need it means I have no need for it. Okay, well, okay. But let's go for the next okay. We talked about Mahdi, that's going to happen in his time as well. We said that Umar Abdul Aziz already happened in his time. Okay, another sign of end of time is exclusive greetings, widespread trade, and severance of family ties. What's the meaning of exclusive greetings? Who would like to share with us what that means? Now, the sunnah of greeting is when you come along and see people sitting down, as you say, Assalamu alaikum, al-qa'im al-qa'id, the standing on the sitting down. The people that are coming say Assalamu alaikum to the people that are sitting down. People that came from traveling, anything, and see people say Assalamu alaikum. Now, the signs of end of time, that the relationships between people will be bad to the point that people will only give greetings to special kinds of people or special people. They will only give greetings to them. So Assalamu alaikum will not be spread like it used to be before. Can we say that people, can we add some of the elements that made this happen is people are just like, there's so much drama and going on in the people's world. They're on the internet for long times. They keep on listening to stories. They watch so many movies and they're just listening to too much drama, or they're probably following too many people on, whatever that is, but too much pressure that is happening on these people and lots going on and so much spreading of so much stories that are happening on that led to people, and you can add elements as much as you want. You can understand how people's personalities have changed from a long time ago, how social media, internet, TV, and everything like that change the personalities of the people, that they begin to dislike communicating with other people and prefer to isolate. Even Salamu alaikum, they prefer not even to give it out. So they would just give it to exclusive people and just say Salamu alaikum. That is if they decide to do so. Okay, widespread trade, and we've seen okay. Let's read this hadith. The Musnad, the Messenger of Allah said, Aysha, would you like to read with us? Just before the hour, there will be.
Just before the hour, there will be exclusive greetings and widespread trade, such that a woman will help her husband in his business, severance of family ties, false testimony, concealment of truthful testimony, and the emergence of the pen.
Emergence of the pen. Okay, let's talk a little bit about each one of them. Okay, one of them exclusive greetings, and you can imagine yourself if you would like to, if you've seen people long time ago, how they don't have phones. I mean, long time ago, people used to miss seeing people because all they have means of the communication is probably the phone that is connected to a wire in their house, and until somebody calls. And they didn't have the means of communication, iPhone, WhatsApp, and you can see people in person. So people would be thirsty to meet other people and communicate with others. This is why greetings was widespread. Right now, people are khalas. They've had enough of that and they don't want to communicate with anyone. You can consider that as an element. You want it again, whatever the elements are, we have this right now. We can see that right now. The widespread of trade, and we can see that a long time ago until the 1950s. If we go back to the videos, interviews done until 1950s, you would understand and see that most of the families worldwide, 1950s, 40s, whatever, you would understand that when you do a report in the street and ask the women what is their view about a relationship of a family and a husband and a wife and everything, they would tell you that, old school is, which is the real school that has been for thousands of years, women stay at home, take care of, and are housewives, take care of the family and the kids, cook and clean and take care of the kids, and men would provide and work outside the house and whatever kind of working it is and trade. Right now, right now we can see that women themselves have also engaged in trading. You would see women having their own businesses online and working. You would see not only that, not only in widespread of trade, because it's not just trade. The ideal is working and getting money. This is the idea. Now you could be saying, well, Sayyidah Khadija, Nabi Sallallahu she was working, she had her own business, and so Nabi Sallallahu also used to work with her. Yes, but that was an individual at that time. You could count a few on your hands. And in Quraysh, she was from the Ashraf. She was from, the high position of people of Quraysh because she was from a wealthy family and her family was considered from the leaders and stuff like that. So she was an exception, she was not something that was widespread that you would see so much like Sayyidah Khadija. No, most of the women were not like that. Like Hind ibn Utbah, Hind bint Utbah, Hind bint Abu Sufyan, Hind, the Zawja, the wife of Abu Sufyan, she was also from the rich people of Quraysh, yet she went to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and she told him that Abu Sufyan was considered to be cheap. And he told her, take what you want, what you need from your husband without his permission. That is enough for you and your kids and your family. So this is an example. Was Hind considered from those from the Ashraf, from those honorable people at Quraysh? Yes. Yet again, she did not used to work in trading. She did not have her own business. So that was an exception. But we're talking right now, what's the difference between that and now? Right now, those women, the position right now that, first of all, everything is the, lifestyle and to have a stable life, only one parent working or one parent working in the house does not offer a lifestyle, a comfortable lifestyle for the family. Unless two of them work in normal businesses. I'm not talking people working in tobacco or working anything like that. I'm talking about people that have businesses, normal businesses, like normal businesses that, working in a store or whatever, they would need another person working in order to be able to provide for the family, which is the wife. So right now you will see so many people, and also that there is no implementing of the Sharia on land. Meaning, a sister asked me, she called me and she asked me, and she was like, Sister Alia, I'm questioning is that when two married couples get a divorce, is it fair that she only gets her mahr, and then this person, her husband, that has been working on his career, outside career, for probably 10, 15 years, and then their marriage doesn't work out. And she was working on taking care of the children and taking care of the household and making sure her husband is comfortable when he comes back home. And then if this marriage doesn't work out, she starts from zero. Now she has 3 to 4 or 5, Allahu A'lam how many kids she has. And she has to work outside the house and start from zero, no experience whatsoever, and build herself together from zero with a few kids. Well, the only thing he's supposed to provide is a little bit of health, child support if they're under 18. And that's about it. And then she has to start from zero. All she gets is her maher, that is if he did not take it in a haram way or whatever from her. So she was like, is this fair? We're telling the sisters, take care of your family. The men is supposed to provide and everything. But what if it's kind of tricky for the women that they, it's like she's gambling with her life. She's depending on a person that she doesn't know if this person is going to be faithful for the family, not meaning that he's going to be doing haram, but maybe it didn't work out, that he's not doing what Sharia does. He's supposed to provide for the family, provide, if she's going to be taking care of her kids, even if they get separated, he's supposed to provide a place for her to live and to be able to take care of her kids without her being working outside, and to be able to provide for his kids. So she can raise her kids until her kids grow up and be able to work and then spend on their mother and work and take care of their mother, provide for their mother and everything like that. Well, she in Islam is not supposed to be working whatsoever outside. As long as she has kids, she's taking care of her kids. The family, the husband, is supposed to be providing for that. But if you go look at the situation right now, you see that that none of that is being applied, and Sharia is not being acted upon. And that's obvious, even in the Muslim world, and that led to all of the women looking, well, we can talk and preach about Sharia all the time, but if things don't work out, you're going to find the women getting up in the morning and looking for a job just to able to provide for herself and to put food on her table and also maintain a rooftop over her kids. So the absence of the Sharia led to having these widespread trade and women to have to leave their houses and have to get a job in order to maintain a living, to get herself a living for herself and her kids. So as we see that, the more the Sharia is absent, the more the harakat, the signs of end of time come faster, and we see that they are coming one after the other, and just one leads to another, as we see here. Okay, so we see widespread of trade. Okay, you might think that's something good, but you can see that and such that women will help her husband, his business. Okay, help him or help herself. All that is one. That means women will be leaving the household. And of course, that will lead that kids will be left without parents being watching them. Okay, now all of that is going to lead at the end, families not being watched by parents or by their mother, not being taken care of. That's going to lead to more corruption in the society. Severance of family ties, of course, which means disconnection between the ties of the family members, brother not talking to his brother, sister not talking to her sister, or any of the close family members, who says the rahim, that they will not be even talking to each other because of dhulm, injustice, not fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the absence of the Sharia. Because dhulm, just over dhulm, that will, when their inheritance is being spread between the family members, for example, and then the brother comes and takes the whole thing and doesn't give his sisters any of her mirath, the inheritance. Isn't that dhulm? Or for example, one takes everything and doesn't give also the brothers. Isn't that dhulm? Isn't that going to remove the family ties and makes a disconnection between them because of the dhulm, and they have a right to be upset because of that? Okay, what made this dhulm stay there and not be removed? The absence of the Sharia, of course, because there is no, even right now in the Muslim countries, all of, like right now, in Palestine, right now, what we see in Palestine, even in the social courts, like divorce and marriage and everything, they are still working according to the 1924 law of the Uthmani Khilafah. Now, so many things changed, and they're still working on a certain ahkam of the fiqh al-Hanafi. Now, so many things changed by time, and so many elements happened that they needed to renew and take ahkam from other fiqh, point of views, because the change of the situation. Imam Shafi'i wrote a kitab of fiqh in Iraq, and when he went to Misr, he changed the book, and he wrote a different book because he saw the situation also in fiqh. He saw the situation in Egypt. The book he wrote in Iraq was suitable for the people in Iraq because they had certain tradings, certain ways of dealing with things, certain customs, culture, and marriage and stuff like that, that they were okay with it, but it was halal, but it's, yet again, it's according to the conditions, that they agree on. This is something known between the society, they all agree on that, but he went to Egypt, but the people were accustomed to something else, which is all halal. I'm not talking about the things that we agree on, I'm talking about things that there's ikhtilaf, there's a difference of opinion about it. Okay, so when he went to Misr, he wrote a different, in so many things, he changed it. Why? I'm not talking about the things that we agree on. He didn't change about things about Sahih Bukhari, things that came in Sahih Muslim, things that, no, I'm not talking about that. There are some things that difference of opinion between the ulama, and it's according, and the right opinion for that is according to what is worked upon into that country. What applies in that country, we work on that. According to what they agree on, they work on that, okay? Like in planting and agriculture and stuff like that. So he changed it. But right now, we're 2024, and still, because we're under occupation, as well also in Jordan, they work upon in the talaq and the divorce and the marriage and everything, they still work on the dastur, which is the book of law. It's from the Uthmani Khilafah in 1924. So, this is all dhulm, this is not right, and it's dhulm, and we can see how much all of that affects at the end, of so many dhulm happening and so many people not getting their rights, and that will lead more to disconnection between the family ties. False testimony. How do we get false testimony? When we put the wrong people in the wrong place. When we and the thing is, they give confidence for the people that like they say, social media is a minbar, which is like a chair of, when the imam goes to the minbar and starts giving the khutbah. It's a minbar for those that don't have a minbar to speak. And the thing is, when they have all these followers following them, they begin to believe themselves that they are on the right thing, and they go into this fitna of thinking that they're important in some situation, and their point of views have some sensibility, while it's all they're only being followed by the ignorant people. So what does that lead to? You lead to having people that are silly and that are sufaha, that are going up there and thinking that they can sit up there and give a testimony on something that they have not even been into a situation where they are supposed to be giving testimony. So concealment of the truth. وين هذه معناتها؟ Okay. Let's see here. كتمان جهالة الحق, and also you'll find people that will not tell the haqq, and will be asked to tell the haqq when they are put in a position, and they will stop to say it. And Nabi Sallallahu Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in the Quran says, وَلَا تَكْتُمُوا الشَّهَادَةَ, and do not conceal the witness, the testimony. When you are asked and about a person for court or something, then you are supposed to tell the truth. The emergence of the pen, which means ظهور القلم, which ظهور القلم means, it could also mean media and too much people writing and too much, too much being said and everything like that. So it's close too much to the media. طيب okay. طيب, okay, we finished this part right now. Let's go for the next part. Okay. Okay, the standards by which people are measured will be distorted. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran that the standards, that the standard by which people are being measured is by taqwa. Okay, that's in general. Okay, inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, the most honorable of you in the sight of Allah. That's in Surah Al-Hujurat 13. The most honorable of you in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most pious of you. In the hadith, Allah said, خيركم خيركم لأهله, the best of you is the one who is the best to his wife, and I am the best to his wife or wives, and I am the best, and I'm the best to my wives. Right. Also in the Quran, also it says, من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى. Let me just read the translation of the ayah here. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى, whoever, where'd it go? Just a second. Okay, whoever does good, whether male or female, and is a believer, we will surely bless them with a good life, and we will certainly reward them according to the best of their deeds. So this is an ayah that tells us, okay, all of this gives us the conclusion is, inna akramakum, briefly, indallahi atqakum, which is the best to you, honorable of you in the sight of Allah, is the most pious of you. Now that is the basic one. Now, at the end of time, standards how people are measured are different. Why? We got the sufaha. The ignorant people will rise. They will be giving a chair to speak up. Like we see, they will be given a microphone, and we will have them on social media, and we'll be having them, and they'll do meetings with them, and they'll bring these silly people, and they're with millions of people that do only silly things and act goofy on the internet, and they will have millions and millions of followers. And that makes it imbalancing in the society. While the youth are supposed to be growing up and looking and pointing out to teachers and doctors and scientists and looking up to the ulama, you have other people that made money by being goofy on the internet and spreading all this silly stuff and this immorality on the internet. So what does that do? As much as we can say these are ignorant people, these are the younger generations are ignorant, but when we give them the opportunity of those silly people and those those fasiqeen people and kuffar people, when we give them the opportunity to be able to become influencers for the new generations, we are getting older and they're becoming the influencers, the new generations of the new society. And they are the ones, they're called Jil al-Mustaqbal. They are the generation of the future. As much as we can say this is right and this is wrong, but we are over here, we are making a very big danger attempt on the new generation, that we are flipping the balancing of, you know, of the standard of how people are measured. Okay? This is why you see more of those silly people coming out more. They're getting money by just sitting there and acting goofy on the internet. So is the social media, is the encouraging people to come like that, to become more like that? That's obvious. As we can see, they're encouraging people to go to the shaitan way. Okay, the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, let's see where's the hadith. Okay, who wants to read this paragraph? Let's take sister, okay, Latifa's praying and Matina. Okay, Anis, you want to read this? The message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us.
Yeah. The Messenger ﷺ has told us that the standards by which people are measured will be distorted before the hour comes. The word of a liar will be accepted and believed, while the word of an honest man will be rejected. Wealth and honor will be entrusted to the treacherous, whilst the honest and trustworthy will be accused of betrayal. Insignificant men will speak on matters which concern all people, but they will not offer anything but foolish opinions, and they will only guide people in the most twisted manner. Imam Ahmad ibn Majah and al-Hakim narrated that Abu Hurairah alayhi salam related, the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, there will come to the people years of treachery, in which the liars will be believed, the honest will be disbelieved, traitors will be entrusted with things, and trustworthy people will be regarded as traitors. And the Ruwaybidah, sorry,
yes,
I can't read that.
Okay. Yeah,
will speak. It was asked, what is the Ruwaybidah? He said, the insignificant man who will speak about matters of general interest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we can see all of that already happening. We can see all of that already happening. Let's go through them a little bit over here. قبل قيام الساعة, measured, distorted before hour, the word of the liar will be accepted and believed. We can see that. The thing is that the liars have become so much lying that they become to the fact that they become experts in lying, that their lies will be accepted and believed, while the word of the honest man will be rejected. And I don't know, we see it here in Palestine. I don't know if you guys see it up there too, but they're just good actors to the point where you don't know who to believe. So Allah Musta'an, wealth and honor will be entrusted to the treacherous, while the honest and trustworthy will be accused of betrayal. So there's a trust issue in the community. Why? There's so much fasad. There's so much tribulation. There's so much people that are corrupted and lying and stealing and everything, and actors in such a terrible way that people don't know who to believe. You know, wealth and honor. Okay, we said that. Well, the honest, okay. Insignificant men will speak on matters which concern all people. I mean, very good example of the politicians in America. Wallahi, I mean, just listen to Trump, what he's saying. You got the worst people put in positions. Also, the people of the Arab world, in the leaders there, people that have like Mohammed bin Salman. He's just a he really acts like a kid that has been يعني spoiled person, and all he's caring about is to bringing more entertainment into the society and just bringing all those singers from all over the world, more bars, more everything. That's the only thing that he's caring about right now. So this is insignificant. Men speak on matters which concern all people. If you listen to the people of Palestine, like the people in the Arab, in the Palestinian Authority, I'm not talking about the people in Gaza or the resistance. I'm talking about Fatah. You know, you will see that they're speaking on the behalf of Palestine. Well, you know, they are not for this position, fit for that position. And we can see that, like, if you listen to the politicians in America right now, you got homelessness everywhere in all the states, people homeless all over, people that, you know, just 1 month they weren't able, they had a health condition to work, they lost their home, and they're in the streets working all these years, just 1 month in the hospital, they put in a position where they're homeless now. So yet again, they're talking about giving military aid for other countries, Ukraine, Yahud, Israel, and everything like that, while people in their own country are living in the streets, and students going to colleges and on debts for colleges for like more than 100,000, for example, for some students, and yet again sending all these billions and billions of dollars just to declare wars on different countries. You can see how much that yani, is so much unfair and unjust. Okay, insignificant men will speak on matters. We said that. Imam Ahmad said there will come to the people years of treachery in which liar will be believed and honest. Okay, we said that. Okay. Okay, the Ruwaybida اللي هو الناس, the same, we said insignificant people, man, will speak about the matters of general interest. And not only that, another sign of that is that sometimes even the Muslimin, they would go to Imam of a masjid and they would ask him things in the deen, and he would give them the wrong fatwa, you know? Or for example, a problem happened between a wife and her husband, and they went to the Imam al Masjid to help them out with this problem, and it turned out to be he was not qualified. Now he was put in a position of being Imam al Masjid, and he's giving fatwa and trying to solve problems. Why didn't you just tell them, I am not fit to solve problems between two married couples? Why did you put yourself in the position of trying to solve a problem between them while you're only making it worse and removing hope that they might come back and build the family back together, while you put yourself in a position and made it even worse for them to come back together because you made the wrong fatwa and made it a hope and had and made the either the wife or the husband feel that there is no hope to find the right person or the right place to go to where they can really solve their marriage problems. And this is also, he's from the Ruwaybida, and from the signs of end of time is people will put ru'usan juhalan, which is heads that are ignorant, to be heads of the people, and they will be giving fatwa to people, and they will make people go astray just from their fatwas. They will yudillu nas, they will make people go astray, and they will separate families, they will mess up the whole thing, you know? For example, one of those examples I was yani, somebody told me about is a woman in America. Her husband was being unfaithful, and he was literally yani, going out with different women, you know. And she went and he was like, hey, why don't we just go to the Imam Masjid, maybe he can, you know, solve this problem between us and everything. And instead of telling the husband, why are you being unfaithful? He turned to the wife and he told her, you are not giving your husband his needs, and you are not being a good wife to your husband. This is why your husband is going and to finding other places to, take his needs. And just giving the excuse for not being faithful to that, and she was like, and I asked her, and she was like, that was that killed me. She was like, we went to the Imam in Masjid, instead of telling him, why are you committing zina? What are you doing? You might bring STDs to your wife and your family and your kids. This is haram. You shouldn't be doing this. You will come and pray in the masjid. This is haram. And you are putting yourself in a position while a person that commits zina is not, a wife is not supposed to be staying with him, because الزاني لا ينكح إلا زانية أو مشركة. خلاص, if he's keeps on continuing making zina and he does not make tawbah, then خلاص, she's supposed to be separated from him. Instead of telling him what you're committing is haram, and a person that is muhsan, that is already married, a halal marriage, and commits zina, that his had is a rajam, is to be stoned, and then instead of telling him, you have committed one of the kaba'ir, one of the major sins, you go there and give him excuse, and you tell the wife, well, it's your fault, you're not fulfilling the needs of your husband. Why is he looking outside? So the wife was really upset. She was like, I was waiting for him to tell him this is from the kaba'ir. What you are doing something major haram. لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا بإحدى ثلاث. One of them is that one of the things that a person has the had, adulterer, a married adulterer, a person that commits adultery when they're married in Islam, they should be killed. If it is proven that if 4 people saw him, that he was having or if he confessed a intimate relationship, they've seen it, an intimate relationship, they've seen him into the case. Don't tell me they were under the same blanket. No, if they seen the sexual relationship, the full sexual relationship, the intercourse, 4 people, they seen it, and they go tell about him that this person is married, and we saw him do this, that. These 4 people saw it at the same time, then this person will have the had, will have the punishment of rajam, which is stoned, and stoned to death. Now, or if he says, I want to purify myself, I have committed zina, I want to be purified in the dunya before the akhirah, but if that, now having that situation and all of the sharia and all of the time throughout history, the hadd al-rajm, the stoning only happened 2 or 3 times, because it's literally impossible except if somebody's well, maybe right now it's possible, but before, people did not used to commit zina in the streets. People, when they would commit zina, they would hide from people, and it's impossible for people to see the incident of intimacy, and intercourse all at the same time. They probably see them under a blanket, but to see that is impossible for 4 people. And the times that the hadd al-rajm, the punishment of stoning, was when they approached the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they confessed, I want to be purified, I committed zina. So has it happened? I have not read one story of a person, of somebody being stoned except 2 people that already confessed in the time of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And I think in time of Umar al-Khattab, another story also happened, and he confessed. It wasn't by witnesses, 4 witnesses. So we see that it's not something that, oh, he did zina, and then another person, oh yeah, he did zina, and then just one person testifies, and then khalas, they come here. It's not like, you know, just bring piles of people and start stoning people. No, he has to confess, or if he wants to purify himself, or 4 witnesses that see the intercourse itself, the full intercourse. Okay, where were we at? Okay, we were talking about the ruwaybida, that how people in the wrong position lead to people into tribulation, into fitna. How this person, we're talking about this imam, that he destroyed this family, and by even giving the wrong fatwa and blaming it on the woman, that she was not fulfilling the needs of her husband, instead of talking to the husband that zina is haram. So this is also you'll see that widespread in so many masajid in the whole world, even in the Muslim places, giving the accountability for the woman for whatever happens, as if she's a babysitter for her husband, instead of every person every person is held accountable for their actions. So whatever, consider the wife has cancer, consider her whatever. There is no justification for being unfaithful and committing zina. No justification whatsoever. Muslimin used to go for jihad for 4 months and they didn't have any wives with them. Muslimin, some of the Muslimin in one of the battles with the Romans, they were put into cells by themselves, and they would bring naked women inside just to try to make them commit zina. Well, they've been away a year from their wives. Did they say, well, I've been away for a year from my wife? Did they go into that position? Like, inni akhafullah. And this woman, when she left, she left this, they were put 3 months. This is a story that happened in the time of the Khalifa Umar ibn Khattab. Those 3, there were lots of people taking Muslimin. They were taken as prisoners, captives, in the Roman, where there's a war with the Romans, with the Rome. And what they did was they gathered them together, and then they starved them all into their prisons. Then they brought a fried pig in front of them, pork. And they told them eat, and they brought them a bottle of beer, khamr. It's like drink. And the Sahabi said, he was the leader of them all. He said, Wallahi inni a'lamu annaha halal, ولكن خشيت أن تشمتوا. خشيت يعني أن تفرحوا. He said, I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that if we've starved, it is halal for us to eat and drink pork and to drink beer if we fear death. But I didn't want to see you guys happy for a Muslim to eat pork and drink khamr. So I will not give you this joy of thinking that you have won over us by drinking and eating from this, and refused to eat. And then the kafirin, they brought a very big, like a pot of boiling oil inside, and they burnt under it the fire and the flames and everything. And then they dropped some of the captives of the Muslimin inside. And they heard the splashing of the oil and the Muslimin burning into being fried alive into this oil. And this leader of the Muslimin at that time, one of the captives in there, he was the leader of them. he saw him crying. And he was like, why are you crying? He thought that he was khalas, I got him. Now he's crying. And then he was like, I was crying because I know what I'll be putting in there. That's only one nafs. That's only one spirit, one ruh of my ruh. And I heard the Nabi sallallahu, and I will die and that's it. And I heard the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam say that the martyrs, the shuhada yawm al-qiyamah, will wish one wish yawm al-qiyamah. And then he asked him, what was that wish? She said, they will wish that they had countless of souls that died in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the dunya, because of how much they see the big reward that they see in the akhirah. And I know I only have just one nafs, one spirit. So I'm saying if I die right now, then I don't have any, that's only going to be one time that I die. And I just remembered this hadith, and I know that the reward will be very big Yawm al-Qiyamah for the shaheed. And they brought him back into the cells over there, and they asked him, and they put him inside the cell, and they brought in him those prostitutes, and then he was just cover up and remove her from him and everything, and then saying inni akhafullah, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and covering his eyes. And then they got her out. When she got out, and she was like, they were like, hey, so give us the glad tidings. What happened, And she was like, Wallahi innahu la ya'lamu dhakarun ana am untha. Wallahi, he doesn't know if I'm a male or a female. And then the leader of the room came to him, and he was like, I tried everything with you. How about you kiss my forehead, and then I'll let you go, and the Muslimin, all those captives with you, I'll just let you go. Just kiss my forehead. And then he looked about himself. I think it's Abdullah bin Hadaf Sami. And he was like, I forgot the name of the Sahabi. He was like, me kissing, he asked himself, أقبل رأس هذا الكافر فأعصم إخواني من الفتن, means I will kiss the forehead of this kafir, and I will prevent all of those brothers of Islam from being put into tribulations and fitan and being put in situations, and then I will maintain their blood and maintain their nafs. He was like, okay, I'll kiss your forehead. So he kissed his forehead, and all the Muslimin, he took all those, I think it was 30 Muslimin with him, and he went back to the Medina with his head down, because he was put in a situation by kissing the forehead of a kafir. And then Umar al-Khattab looked at him. He was like, حُقَّ لَنَا أَن نُقَبِّلَ رَأْسَكَ. He was like, you are worthy for all of us to kiss your forehead. That you saved all those brothers of being captives and put in situations of fitan. And all of the Muslimin started, running after the Sahabi, and one after the other, just kissing his forehead because of, and telling him, cheering him up that, you did the right thing. And we heard about your story, and he told them what happened. They were all proud of him for what he did. So, and the Rome, leader at that time was astonished by the iman of the mu'mineen at that time. And we could hear so many stories of them saying, if I had soldiers like these, I would open the whole world. So that's a story of one of the Sahaba, or a bunch of the Sahaba that happened, like 30 of the Sahaba when they're with the Romans. I don't know what got me in here, but I was just saying the story. But this is also a story I wanted to share with you guys. Like whoever think, where is it? Okay. Who would like this one? Whoever thinks about the state of the world today will see. You want to read this, Anisa?
Sure.
Yeah.
Whoever thinks about the state of the world today will see that we are living in the time the Messenger ﷺ spoke of and about. For the liars among the kuffars and mushrikeen who control the media and those who follow them are believed, whilst those who are honest and just are not believed. The Muslim Ummah is putting its wealth into the hands of the treacherous kuffar and entrusting it to them, whilst the Muslims are described as betrayers and nothing is entrusted to them.
Mhm. As we can see,
Insignificant.
yeah. Go ahead,
You want
Ufti.
to continue?
Yeah, go ahead. Ufti.
Insignificant men speak about world affairs and lead the world in the most foolish manner, which has almost led to the destruction of humanity as a whole.
Yep. So we were talking we were talking about the liars being believed, and the honest not believed, and we can see that, like sister just read a little while ago. We can see that so clearly about what's happening in the world with the media now. The Zionists and the the Masonry, you whatever, Illuminati, name it, whatever you want to name it. All this, the kuffar in general are dominating the media and the way what people are thinking, and spreading what they want to be true is true, and what they don't want to be true is untrue. And this is all we can see. How much we can see people that are very, very, very if you talk to ordinary two white people in their 70s or 60s, you'll see that they are brainwashed through the TV all these years, thinking America is the greatest place in the world, thinking that all the wars are justified, that they've done around the whole world, and all of that. Now, what does that give us? The idea that, how much that lying, as a person is something, while lying as a big state, how much it leads and misleads the people to dalal. This is dalal. This is people going astray, and people going into wars and fighting and thinking they're patriots and thinking they're heroes while they're going there. And we've seen that so many times, how many people they come back and they're like, I have participated in destroying another nation, like what happened in Iraq, and orphaning so many millions of children. I was one of them. And they sit there and they throw their trophies and everything, and they say this is a lie. And they have used us and used those words of being patriots and saving the American dream and all these things in order to make other people suffer and live and destroy other countries. So we can see how much, media has changed and how much it led to all of that. Another sign of end of time: police will whip the people. Police, their job is, to maintain the security and the wrongdoing, and deter wrongdoing will themselves by spreading corruption. Okay, what is it? But that's the point. That's the means, or the job of this of the police is to maintain justice in the community, and to make sure the law is working, and that the law is being applied on the people, and that everyone's going right on the laws. Now, what the police are doing, you see how they're doing even the courts, even the universities right now. What are they doing? The universities, they claim that they have free of speech and everything like that. While what they do, free of speech, well, it comes to the Yahud, but when it comes to free of speech, to free speech for LGBT, free of speech for people talking about the environment, free speech when talking about anything else. But when it talks about something against their agenda, then the free of speech goes away. Now they're talking about even deporting people, and kicking out people that are are against anything called, the war of Israel and Palestine. or in Lebanon or anything like that. And I guess anti-Semitism is not enough. They're even taking the graduation and يعني preventing others from graduating and giving them, you know, rights, and and people are losing their jobs, and people yani suffering in so many places just by raising the flag of, no, this is not fair. We should be giving the money to the homeless in our country instead of supporting genocide in other places in the world. We can see that the police's aim has become not to help the people and protect the people and maintain the safety of the people, and that justice is working. No, now they are working. Now the police has become like a mafia, you know, it's actually working to make sure that, you know, this big mafia in a country is actually bringing its يعني, how do I say it? Yeah, that it's يعني forcing this agenda on the people, and that everyone is يعني surrendering and giving you assalamu alaikum, and you know, it's like servants, you know, they're dealing with people as servants, as slaves into this community, and not dealing them with people that really have rights, you know. As long as you say no to them, then you lose your rights for everything. But Imam Ahmad said, at the end of time, there will be. Sister Aisha, you want to read this? At the end of time.
At the end of time, there will be men with whips like the tails of cattle. They will go out in the morning, subject to the wrath of Allah, and they will come back in the evening, subject to His wrath.
So it doesn't have to have just like that. Now that happened before. Okay, now that happened even in the time of the Khilafah Islamiyah. We will find that people that used, you know, their position and their status as being the police in order to serve this Khalifa or that Khalifa. We will find that. And the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam actually told us in the hadith, he said, تكون الخلافة ما شاء الله لها أن تكون. There will be a Khilafah for a certain time. خلافة على منهاج النبوة. خلافة, there will be a Khilafah, Khilafah Rashida for a certain time. Khilafah Rashida, which means there will be 4 Khulafa Rashidin, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Abu Bakr. Okay? And then, or Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. Okay? He said those. And then he said, ثم تكون يكون ملكا جبريا. It will be compulsory. يعني people will be forced upon this. ثم يكون ملكا عضوضا. You know, it will be, no, he said that it will be ملكا عضوضا. It will be something that you're barely holding to. Okay? Means it will be hard to deal with because they transferred the elections into becoming يعني inherited, you know, the king, and then his son becomes the king, and then the king, and then his son becomes the king, and then, you know, a royal becomes like a kingdom instead of a khilafah that being elected by the right people or to be put into the right position. Right. And then يكون ملكا جبريا. It will be a kind of khilafah that is forced upon people. And the word jabri means force. And the word force means, you know, army that protects government and everything like that, to force it upon the people. And then he said, there will be a khilafah ala minhaj al-nubuwah. There will be a khilafah on the method of the nubuwah, of the prophecy of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it will be in Bayt al-Maqdis. Bayt al-Maqdis. It will be Bayt al-Maqdis means Palestine. It will be fi Bayt al-Maqdis. So we know that the khilafah of end of time is coming. We know by certainty that it is coming. So all of what is happening now, this police, we already saw that after Khulafa al-Rashidin happened, after the khilafah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin happened, Umar, Uthman, Ali, okay, Muawiyah came here. Oh, we saw that. So this already happened a long time ago. Is it more now? Oh, now it's even more organized, you know? Now we have a CIA, we have a Mossad, we have that and everything. And whoever goes against the agenda, oh, you're collected. You know? Now it's more organized. Now they have rules how to control people and manipulate what they're doing, and even, you know, control what is going in and out of their accounts and everything. And just a little bit of not doing what the government is telling you, oh, they freeze your account in the bank and you can't take anything. And you're just with nothing. Oh, you can't get access to your buildings there. You can't get access to that. Oh, the government laid the hands on it. Now it belongs to the government. Oh, you have tax. There you are. You have nothing. You know, and you will see that. And this is why so many people from that lived in America and everything like that, they say the word that America's money has no barakah, has no blessing. That you can get sick and then there you are, you're in debt for the bank, you know, and then you lose your house. While in Palestine, you know, there's give and take, you know, we could talk about it, you know. You buy a house, you buy a land in some place in Palestine or any other place, and then the whole world can't take the land from you, you know, because except Yahud, you know, but I'm talking in general. You know, khalas, you sit there, you sleep there, you eat there, and you can sit there for 70 years and no one will, will disturb you or take the land from you. By except the Yahud, of course, but there's no bank coming and taking your house, you know? So we don't have that here in Palestine, unless you sign something for the bank or something like that. So, okay, we finished this part. Okay, let's read this hadith. This hadith also referring to another another sign of end of time. There are two types of people. Yalla, Anisa, go ahead. There are two types of people of hell.
There are two types of people of hell whom I have not seen. People with whips like the tails of cattle, with which they strike the people, and the women who are clothed yet naked, walking with an enticing gait, and with their heads looking like the heads of camels. They will not enter paradise nor even smell its fragrance, although its fragrance may be detected from such and such a distance.
Okay, so we got two kinds of people over here. One of them is the police that are hitting people and whipping people, and another kind also signs of end of time that we see right now. Can somebody explain what it says in the hadith? Anisa, would you like to tell us what you understood from the second section of the hadith?
Yeah, the second section, just especially around the women who are clothed yet naked. I mean,
Yeah.
we see that around us
Oh,
constantly.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but where I live, it's so common. But yeah, even though they may be, according to their understanding, clothed, but they're naked for the most part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and they're convinced that they have clothes on, actually. You know?
yeah.
So walking, okay, so these are all kasiyat, ariyat, and also said here that they have things on their head. Where'd it go? Oh, where'd it go?
Looking like the heads of camels, with their heads looking like the heads of the camels.
And it's referring as well to there are some kinds of hijab where the woman has this thing on her head, and they actually have this it's like a big ball that she ties on her head here, makes something here, and even her ponytail is not that big, but to make her face look in a different position or different way, and to make her hijab look in a different way. Now, this kind is haram to do it because it's actually mentioned in the hadith. This kind of hijab where she puts this thing here on her head here, where she makes her hijab look in a different way. So that is haram to do that. As well, also, it's referring to the exaggerating of the appearance, and fixing yourself in a certain way of exposing the fitan, your you know, your fitan. So this is also what it's talking about here. So clothed yet naked, I don't see a better timing except this time, you know. You know, right now in America, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it, I don't know, well, I guess, thank God for Minnesota, it's 6 months snow, you know, people can't get out without wearing clothes. But, you know, you can imagine how much people in the South are actually suffering when it's normal temperatures and more normal weather down there. But they will not enter paradise nor even smell its fragrance. Okay, لا يجدن ريحة, all those fragrances might be detected from such and such a distance. So this is also a sign of end of time that we have not, doesn't have a title, but it's also one of those end of time signs. We finished up to here, sisters. I think you guys have another class right now. Then huna, okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت. Do you have any questions, sisters? Or you guys would like to add something? Inshallah, next time we'll talk about the signs of end of time that did not happen before. Now, in the book over here, it says that one of the signs of end of time that did not happen before was the Arabian Peninsula will become gardens and rivers once more. As I said, this book was written in 1984, and we have seen signs of greenery coming to the Arab Peninsula, but in the hadith, it was not referring to just signs of greenery. It was referring to becoming gardens and becoming rivers. Okay, so we'll be talking about that, and we'll be bringing more things. So okay, we'll be bringing videos or things about that, and we'll be talking about intifakh al-ahilla, which is about, you know, the moons that you will see them bigger than they are. And we'll talk about the Hijri Taqweem, what that is. We'll be talking about Taklim al-Siba', which is the talking of the animals. And also talking of instruments. Now, what does that mean? Could it mean that something about, you know, technology, or does it really mean that instruments will be talking? We'll talk about that next time. We'll talk about Inhisar al-Furat. The Furat River will be exposing a mountain of gold. We'll talk about that, and we'll bring you a few reports about that as well on the internet. The land will expose its treasures, you know, and lots more, inshallah, about the signs of end of time that didn't happen. We'll be talking about that, inshallah, for next time. Let's see if we have any questions here. Allah yahfizkum ya Rabbi wa iyyakum. And we'll see you next time, inshallah, page 2029. And we'll go up until we finish this book, inshallah. And as more as we go up, the more we it gets more exciting about the, you know, well, it's exciting, but yet again, when we know we're getting close to it, it's kind of a little bit scary, you know. But you know, we'll be talking about more things, inshallah, next time. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم إنا نستودعك قلوبنا فاحفظها، واحفظ علينا ديننا وإيماننا وخواتيم أعمالنا. اللهم استودعك أبناءنا قرة أعيننا، فاحفظ عليهم دينهم وإيمانهم وخواتيم أعمالهم يا رب العالمين. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك، ولا تجعلنا من الغافلين. اللهم ردنا وردهم ورد أخواتنا وأبنائهم وعائلاتهم إليك ردا جميلا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين. استودعكم الله ونستودع عائلاتكم وأبنائكم. We leave you in the trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve you and your families, your faith, your iman, and your beloved ones, Ya Rabbi, their faith, their iman, Ya Rabbi al-Alameen, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not trusted something that He does not preserve and does not keep. في أمان الله, in the trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we leave you and we see you inshallah next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. في أمان الله.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
في أمان الله حبيبتي.